93 points. That means that the
Give it up!
the winner of the 2019.
Oh, give me a hug. Thank you. Yes! Yes!
Gerą dieną visiems, kurie šiuo metu mus matote. Mano vardas Ramūnas Zilnys, čia LRT.lt tiesioginė transliacija. Ir patikėkit manim, tokio mano balso jūs dar gyvenime turbūt nesate viešai eteryje girdėję, bet taip jau nutiko, kad balsas šiandien mano yra toks ir tokiu balsu aš bandysiu su jumis šnekučiuotis, nes vakar praleidau visą parą garsindamas Grammy apdovanojimų ceremoniją ir baigės viskas tuo, kad balso beveik nėra. Bet aš kalbėsiu gražių žemų balsų kaip koks dainininkas Leonardas Cohenas. Ir šiandien šitos transliacijos, tiesioginės transliacijos aš niekaip negalėjau praleisti vien jau todėl, kad mes turim ypatingą svečią. Jis sėdi šalia manęs, jūs tikriausiai jau spėjote išgirsti šį rytą, kad jis atvyko į Lietuvą ir tai yra Eurovizijos dainų konkurso laimėtojas Duncanas Laurence'as. Hello, Duncan.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
Is your voice okay? Because mine is not.
My voice is okay for now, so I hope that I'll keep this for the rest of the day so I can perform.
Okay. Duncanas čia yra atvykęs dėl to, kad, kaip žinote, šiuo metu vyksta Eurovizijos atranka ir Eurovizijos atrankoje jis yra atvykęs dalyvauti kaip svečias, kuris dirbs mūsų komisijoje. Šį vakarą yra filmuojamas antrasis Eurovizijos atrankos pusfinalis, tai būtinai žinokit, kad šeštadienį, jeigu žiūrėsite, o tikrai žiūrėsite, galėsite pamatyti ir Duncaną Laurence'o komisijoje. Taip pat jis pažadėjo mums padovanoti ir vieną, o ką gali žinot, gal susitarsim ir dėl dviejų, pagyvensim, pamatysim, ir vieną iš savo kūrinių. Jeigu mėgstate Euroviziją, aš tikiu, kad šitas pusvalandis jums tikrai neprailgs ir jūs taip pat galite būti ne tik žiūrovai, bet ir aktyvūs dalyviai, kadangi šią transliaciją galite matyti LRT.lt Facebook'e, taip pat LRT YouTube ir Facebook'e yra komentarų langelis, ten galite užduoti klausimų mūsų studijos svečiui. Listen, let's start with Eurovision. I mean, like we just seen a bit of a video, which, as we joked, this is forever in your history. Like whenever they're going, like 40 years down the line, whenever we're going to show a TV report about you, we're going to start with this probably because that is such an iconic moment.
Yeah.
You just saw it again. You saw it a million times. Like, what thoughts go through your mind now? I mean, like, you know, several years down the line after this finished. I mean, like, does it seem surreal? Does it seem something that you are no longer surprised by, amazed by? Well, how do you feel about watching this?
I mean, every time I see it, I get a little bit of like a tingly feeling in my stomach because it feels like something I've been through, but at the same time, like you say, it feels like something surreal. I've watched Eurovision ever since I was like maybe 2 or something with my family. So being part of such a big show and also releasing music for the very first time as a musician, and then Arcade was literally my first single. So having that as a kickoff of your career is just like unimaginable. So yeah, the slogan was Dare to Dream. I think that was very suitable for that moment right there.
Aš paklausiau Duncano, kaip jis jaučiasi žiūrėdamas savo triumfą Eurovizijoje. Akimirkas jis sakė, kad vis dar yra visiškai surrealu, nes Euroviziją jis žiūrėjo nuo vaikystės, nuo tada, kai jam buvo 2 metai. Ir tų metų Eurovizijos šūkis buvo išdrįsk svajoti, svajonė išsipildė. Vis dar iš tiesų, kaip jis sako, drugeliai pilve, drebulys, skrusdėlės per kūną, kai mato šitą triumfo akimirką. You are here tonight for the Eurovision selection of Lithuania, where you're going to be a jury member.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the first time that you are a jury member on something.
No, that's right.
How does it feel to sit there in that chair and evaluate other people who are chasing the same dream that happened to you 4 years ago?
I mean, the number one thing that I do when I sit in a chair like that, whether it's like at Eurovision or I did the voice coaching as well, it's just like what I always keep in mind is that there's a performance and an artist that is standing there. And I just like to be intrigued or interested by whatever is happening there. And most of the times, you know, that maybe you have that thing too where you're like, I love all of you guys, but that's the one for me. So that gut feel that you have, I think that's something really important as a judge to follow, especially. But yeah, I'm just also going to enjoy the show and going to enjoy all the performances. I'm very, very curious what a national selection looks like because we don't have this in the Netherlands at all. We have a committee that decides who goes to Eurovision, so I'm really happy to be part of this and see it all happen tonight.
Aš paklausiau Duncano, kadangi tai ne pirmas įkis, kai įvairiuose muzikiniuose televizijos šou jisai dalyvauja kaip teisėjas. Šį vakarą jisai Eurovizijos antro pusfinalio filmavime bus komisijos narys. Ir jisai sako, kad jisai stengiasi tiesiog pasižiūrėti visus pasirodymus. Ir jo mintis yra tokia, kad visi jūs esat nuostabus, bet štai vienas yra galbūt, ar keli atlikėjai yra ypatingesni už kitus, ypatingesni pasirodymai. Jis taip pat sako, kad neturi jokių išankstinių nuostatų, jis tiesiog žiūri, koks yra pasirodymas, kokia yra daina. Na ir jam labai įdomu apsilankyti Lietuvos nacionalinėje atrankoje, taip pat nes Olandijoje nėra nacionalinės atrankos. Tai yra tiesiog vidinis komitetas, kurį suformuoja transliuotojas ir tas komitetas išsiunčia dainą į Euroviziją. Speaking of which, I think it's a good time to talk about the fact that actually you are involved in Dutch Eurovision this year because there's a brilliant act. We haven't heard the song yet, right? So, but still, I mean, are we in the same semifinal? Did you check? I didn't do my homework, but
I don't really know, to be honest. Like we're so focused on like what is happening with the act and with what we're wanting to show and the message that we want to spread kind of through Europe and Australia that I haven't really seen the logistics or the schedule yet. I think we're in the second.
Well, Lithuania is in the second. So, I mean, anyway, but let's hope we are both in the final. So the thing is, Lithuanians will get a chance to vote for the Netherlands as well if they like the song. So it's a good time to maybe shortly introduce the song or tell us about what Netherlands is doing with Eurovision this year.
Yeah, so we're having two artists go to Eurovision. It's going to be a duet. I can't tell you anything about the song because it's not out yet, and that's up to the artist.
Have you written it already?
Yes, so we wrote the song with the four of us. So Jordan, my partner, Mia, and Dion, we all four of us went into the studio and wrote it, and it's almost there. Yeah, we're getting the last steps in right now and making sure that everything is perfect. I'm very much of a perfectionist and the rest of the team is too, but that's good when you do Eurovision. You need to think about all the little steps and things and details. So in the end, when you're there in Liverpool in this case, everything is just slow and easy and just like, you know, prepared.
Is it a fast song or is it a slow song?
I can't tell you anything.
Nobody's going to find out. This is just a bunch of Lithuanians watching.
I won't say anything. I signed a contract with the Dutch broadcaster. You don't want
nothing
those.
in the world that I can do to kind of get it out of you. All right, good. I'll just translate it briefly. So, Duncanas šiais metais beje taip pat dalyvauja Eurovizijoje, tačiau kitam amplua kaip dainos autorius, vienas iš dainos autorių, kadangi į Euroviziją vyksta Mia ir Dion, tai yra labai talentingi du jauni žmonės, kurie susipažino. Well, it's actually true that in a way you were involved with them kind of deciding to work together and sing together as well.
So, like, the way it started was that we had this song and then with Mia and then Dion joined on it. And we were like, wow, these voices are so like suitable for each other. They fit so well with each other. And then Dion kind of like wrote half of the other song with us and then it all came together. So, yeah, we kind of went to them and said like, hey, would you like to do this? Would you want to go to Eurovision? And they were both like right away like, yes, please, let's do it. Because there's also like this big like inspirational like, you know, glow around Eurovision for a lot of artists in the Netherlands now after it's been like, we took it to the Netherlands and people saw it and people saw how much it could do for an artist at the start of their career. So two new fresh artists that are ready to conquer the world.
So are they winning this year's Eurovision?
If they're not, if I didn't believe they would win, then I wouldn't be a part of it. So yeah, I believe that they could win for sure.
Can we agree that it's either Netherlands or Lithuania?
Let's do that right here.
Okay,
one
cool.
of the two.
We
so
decided.
if everyone just votes for each other, then maybe we'll get very far.
Okay. Aš pabaigsiu versti iš tikrųjų. Duncanas yra vienas iš dainos autorių puikiam Nyderlandų duetui, kuris dalyvauja šiais metais Eurovizijoje. Ir kokia daina jis dar nesako. Nesako ar greita, ar lėta, nes, kaip sako, pasirašė sutartį su Nyderlandų transliuotoju ir neturi teisės išduoti šitų paslapčių. Tačiau duetas ruošiasi ir Duncanas nekantriai laukia ir tiki, kad jie gali labai gerai pasirodyti Eurovizijoje. Mes ką tik sutarėm, kad padarykim taip šiais metais. Tegul laimi arba Nyderlandai, arba Lietuva. Aš manau, kad niekas dėl tokio rezultato tikrai nesupyktų. Our Kate is obviously, you know, this situation where this song Actually, it was one of the first songs, I think, in the last 10 years, which did this thing where Eurovision song quite often stays in a bubble, but sometimes the song breaks through. For example, in America, I mean, like Arcade got a lot of attention, and that doesn't happen every day. I mean, like, you know.
No.
What do you think? You've heard this question a million times, but what do you think is so special about that song in particular? And have you written better songs in your own? In your own opinion, because sometimes I just say this one is a big song, this one is a hit. I have no clue why the song is so huge. I've written like 20 songs which are, in my opinion, like way better, but for some reason people like this one.
Well, I mean, it's up to the listeners to decide, obviously, but I hope that I wrote this song on a very personal, like, foundation. It was about someone who passed away when I was young, who was madly in love with someone, but they had split up right before she passed away, and that person didn't come to say goodbye. So it was a very tense, big moment and a lot of energy around that. And it took me a lot of years to finally write it down and put it on paper. So I think and I hope that that person's energy or that story is captured well enough where people just resonate with it in their own way. I also think a lot has to do with TikTok and with the pandemic that happened, because Arcade went even further in streams and everything than Eurovision. Eurovision was a fun start, but what happened after was insane. It went all over the world through TikTok. And I think that was also because there wasn't a lot going on. People needed to have some sort of outlet to be themselves within their four walls in lockdown. So I think that has a lot to do with it as well, like people feeling heartbroken about some situations, about not seeing their loved ones maybe. You know, it's a combination of a lot of things, but I'm very happy her story traveled the world and everyone heard it and resonated with it so well. I mean, we're close to hitting 1 billion streams on Spotify, which is insane. I'll be part of the Billionaires Club soon, which is crazy. I mean, that's insane.
Amazing. Aš paklausiau Duncano apie Euroviziją laimėjusią dainą Arcade, nes kartais atlikėjai sako, vienas kūrinys labai išpopuliarėjo, o aš turiu kitų dainų, kurios gal atrodo netgi geresnės, bet žmonės klausosi būtent šitos dainos. Kuo ypatinga yra daina Arcade? Duncanas sako, kad pirmiausia, tai yra nuostabi istorija, nes ji yra susijusi su tikra istorija apie du žmonės, kurie mylėjo vienas kitą, tada išsiskyrė ir vienas žmogus numirė, kitas žmogus nespėjo atsisveikinti, visa šita istorija buvo sudėta į dainą. Ir kalbant apie tai, kad daina tapo populiaria labai Jungtinėse Amerikos valstijose, Duncanas svarsto, kad gal tai susijęs su TikToko platforma, nes irgi, kuri tikrai prisideda prie dainų išpopuliarinimo. Ir reikia prisiminti, kad po jo pergalės Eurovizijoje gana greitai prasidėjo koronaviruso pandemija, galbūt žmonės sėdėdami namie klausėsi muzikos ir šita jautri istorija surezonavo su daugeliu žmonių visam pasauly. Dar vienas svarbus dalykas, šita daina netrukus pasieks 1 milijardą perklausų Spotify platformoje. Taip, kad, kaip Duncanas sako, jie taps milijardierių klubo nariai. Can I make this joke where people say we are not making any money from Spotify? You are a billionaire on Spotify, but is that a lot of cash in your bank account from that song?
I mean, like, everyone can go to Google and calculate how much that is. I do have to say that it's a lot different but than a lot of the information that's out there. But yeah, everyone knows that musicians, especially songwriters, I mean, I'm an artist. I can gig, I can go and do a performance and get paid for that. But when you're a songwriter only or a producer only, I do have to say that this needs to change at some point, because the money that is coming in from music streams with people pouring their heart and soul into songs, it's just not enough. I think it's not what people should be paid. So I'm fine. I worry more about like the people around me that I work with and that I would love to work with on a regular basis. And I really am like, why is it like this? In the end, the songwriters and the producers are the ones who create music constantly. Why is it divided in this weird way? But I think especially in the States now too, people are really standing up now against this thing. And maybe it's time for Europeans to do the same. Maybe just, you know, ring the bell and say like, hey guys, what are we going to do about this? Because this is a tricky situation. But on the other side, I'm very happy with platforms like Spotify and Apple Music and Deezer, because it makes it possible for a Dutch artist from a small town to like be everywhere in the world. Like during lockdown, everyone just streamed it, and it's so accessible these days. So that's a good thing too. So it has two sides.
Ok, aš paklausiau, kad milijardas perklausų Spotify tikrai nereiškia $1 milijono banko sąskaitoje. Duncanas sako, tikrai ne, tikrai ten. Visi suprantate, galite surasti internete informaciją apie tai, kad atlikėjai ir ypač dainų autoriai neuždirba tokių didelių sumų, kokias galbūt mums atrodytų, kad turėtų gauti už pasaulinius hitus, bet situacija keičiasi. Amerikoje vis dažniau yra keliamas klausimas apie tai, kad ypač dainų autoriams būtų teisingai apmokama už jų darbą ir galbūt Europoje irgi metas judinti šitą visą temą, tačiau kita vertus, Duncanas sako, kad jam labai patinka tos visos platformos, Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, nes tai yra labai patogus būdas pasiekti daug klausytojų. We talked about the most beautiful moments of your career, because arcade is obviously, winning Eurovision is one of them. Let's talk about the lousiest ones. I was in Rotterdam. I met you backstage. We had a chat. You were preparing for your grand performance.
Yeah.
And then you couldn't do it because you caught COVID.
Yes.
What was going through your mind?
Well, first of all, I was sitting on the couch watching my own performance because eventually we used the rehearsal takes, which I'm very happy about that we had them, and we made it work with CGI and everything, and it looked beautiful in the end. But yeah, it kind of felt like Maleficent, who didn't got invited to the party, like the only person in the village
actually,
that didn't
you are
get
the reason for the party, and you
yeah,
can't
exactly.
go.
I was like, okay, this is like not my party, it's our party, but it's like I took it to the Netherlands, I took it to Rotterdam, like that's the city where I'm from, like all these things lined up, and then I go to Eurovision and I get COVID there. Like that was just like the most ridiculous moment of, probably my career. And it felt so sour because we had this lockdown and finally there was something to look forward to, and I don't know, that was a tricky moment for sure,
Aš sakiau, mes pakalbėjome apie gražiausią ir spūdingiausią kol kas Duncano karjeros momentą, tai yra pergalė Eurovizijoje, tai pakalbėkime ir apie patį liūdniausią. Duncanas turėjo dalyvauti Eurovizijoje Rotterdame kaip praėjusio konkurso laimėtojas, bet likus porai dienų jisai pasigavo koronavirusą ir baigėsi tuo, kad negalėjo pasirodyti. Tai sakė, sėdėjo ant sofos namie, žiūrėjo pasirodymą, viskas buvo labai surrealu, nes atrodė, kad vakarėlis kaip ir vyksta dėl jo, jisai padarė, kad Eurovizija vykstų Nyderlanduose, jo gimtajame mieste Rotterdame, o jis negalėjo ant scenos atsidurti, nes tiesiog pagavo COVID-ą, ką padarysi, taip jau nutiko. Primenu, kad jeigu ką, jūs galite užduoti klausimų Facebook'o transliacijoje, komentarų langelėje, jeigu netingit, bet paprastai, kai mes nesiūlom jokių prizų jums, jūs tingit užduoti klausimus. Tai jeigu jūs neužduosit klausimų, aš dar turiu pakankamai, o Duncanas dar turi kokias 10 minučių čia su mumis. Okay, well, after Eurovision, you released a number of amazing songs, you in the Netherlands, I was in a situation where I knew that you were performing and I couldn't get the tickets, although I was in the same town. And things are happening for you a lot. What is the? And of course, you had a couple of years where it was COVID, and and you were kind of like it was crossed out from a touring career, etc. But how are things going at the moment, and what are you working on at the moment?
So at the moment, I'm finishing up my second album, which is going to be a different direction. I'm going into like back to my roots, which is a lot of like Queen, Elton John, the Beatles influences. We're finishing it up right now, so it's we're planning on releasing it in a few months actually, so soon more info. I can't tell anything yet because otherwise my label will kill me, but it's gonna be fine. Like soon it will come. And next month I'll drop a new single, which is called Skyboy, which I'm very, very excited about because it's like a big song again with a big chorus, so I'm very curious what that will do. But I'm at a very nice place. I get to tour. I get to go to the States. I get to, I'm there. I work on music there in Europe. I travel everywhere. I do these like TV shows everywhere. I did The Voice. Like it's so many. Not as a contestant. I did that when I was 19, but as a judge this time. So that's a full circle too. So I feel like a lot is happening at the same time, and I'm just really enjoying the ride. I'm just like focusing on myself, me as an artist, what I want to portray to the world, and it's been such a cool new, like thing to focus on and to be in, because it really feels like after this big roller coaster of starting my career and doing Eurovision, of course there's a million opinions and you kind of listen to them sometimes, and with this album I completely decided to throw that all in the bin and just do my own thing, and it feels very liberating.
Nice. That's a long answer. I'll try to sum it up just
sorry.
a bit. No, that's great because it's difficult for me to talk today anyway. So thanks for long answers, man. Aš paklausiau, kągi ruošia Duncanas šiuo metu. Jisai sakė, kad antrasis albumas pasirodys this year. I mean, the album is definitely coming
Yes,
out
this
this year.
year, yeah.
Šiais metais išeis antrasis jo albumas, kuris jau yra baigtas ruošti. Kitą mėnesį išeis daina, kuri vadinasi Skyboy, dėl kurios jisai labai labai džiaugiasi, nes sakė, bus didelis priedainis, bus energingas kūrinys. Ir jūs visi pasižymėkit savo kalendoriuose, kad jau visai greitai kitą mėnesį jūs tą dainą galėsite išgirsti. Ir tame albume, kaip pasakoja Duncanas, jis grįžta prie savo šaknų, prie to, kokia muzika jam labai labai patinka nuo vaikystės, nuo paauglystės. Queen, Eltonas Johnas, The Beatles yra įkvėpimo šaltiniai. Ir kaip jisai sakė, žinai, po Eurovizijos visai būna, žmonės pradeda visai galvoti, į kurią pusę tavo karjerą turėti, visi turi savo nuomonę, bet jisai tiesiog nusprendė paklausyti savo instinkto ir daryti tai, kas jam patinka, ir būtent toks bus jo naujas albumas. Speaking of The Beatles, you do know that there's a small monument for John Lennon in Vilnius, right?
Here?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. No.
This is your first time in Vilnius,
Yes.
is that correct? First time in Lithuania
Ever.
at all?
Yeah.
Right, you will have like at least a couple of days. Today you have like
Yeah.
filming, etc., so you'll have some time to walk around.
Yes, probably.
What did you know about Lithuania before coming here, honestly?
Honestly, I only knew it from Eurovision.
What is your favorite Lithuanian Eurovision act?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I don't know.
Okay, so this year it was Monica Liu.
I'm gonna
who sang
pick my
in
favorite
Lithuania.
this year, like right
Okay,
now.
you don't remember. Okay, do you remember the yellow guys who had this
That's right, with the ears? Like,
no, that's Norwegian. Okay, I get it. You don't remember. That's fine.
well,
You're
I
going
do have to
Latvia
say
year.
that every time I watch Eurovision, I also like drink a little bit. So at the end of the night, it's kind of blurry who is who, and like I just like see the top 5, and I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense, kind of. But like that's how I watch Eurovision too.
Okay, great. Tai va, žiūrėkit, aš paklausiau, koks yra mėgstamiausias Lietuvos Eurovizijos atlikėjas. Jo sakė, ai, neatsimenu, bet šį vakarą išrinksim patį mėgstamiausią. Actually, there will be a contestant from the Eurovision from 2 years ago in the jury tonight as well. So
Wait,
get to
was
meet
it in the
some-
yellow suit?
Yeah, they sang a song called Discotheque, and before that, and they had like
And
dancers
that
and
was
everything.
in Rotterdam. Was he the first one to go out?
I think he was the first one in the first semi. I think
Right.
he started the Eurovision
Then I
and
think I
everybody
know
started
who it
dancing.
is, yeah.
He was number 8 in the final or something, so that was the year where we
Right.
did really well. But you'll meet him tonight, and anyway, you'll meet lots of nice people tonight.
Yeah,
'cause it's a
I'm
second
looking
semi-final.
forward to it, yeah.
You didn't check any songs before.
Not yet.
This is
So
going to be
tonight
the
is going to be
first one.
like full new material right in front of me, and that I like doing it like that. You know, like when you see something for the first time, which is also how Eurovision viewers are going to
Yes,
see
exactly.
it. It's fresh, it's new. You can't be distracted by, oh yeah, I know that she or he is a great singer because I kind of heard, you know, like it's just going to be shock at the moment, hopefully, and then I'm just, you know, decide who is my favorite.
Okay. Duncanas pirmą kartą Lietuvoje sakė, duok Dieve, gal turės truputį laiko pasivaikščioti, nors iš tikrųjų jo dienos bus pakankamai smarkiai užimtos čia. Apie Euroviziją jisai neatsimena. Dabar liktai prisiminė Verūp, nes Verūp pirmi buvo Eurovizijoje Rotterdame, išėjo į sceną. Ir šį vakarą sakė tos dainos, kurios skambės Eurovizijos atrankos antro pusfinalio filmavime. Jis tų dainų nėra girdėjęs, jisai visada stengiasi, kad pirmą kartą tiesiog išgirsti, nes būtent taip dažniausiai žmonės tas dainas išgirsta ir Eurovizijos dainų konkurse. Taip, kad šį vakarą visi kūriniai, kurie skambės Duncanui, bus naujiena. I'm not sure if we can disclose plans, but what are you also going to sing?
Yeah.
What are you going to sing for us?
So I'm going to sing my newest single, Electric Life, and I'm going to sing Arcade, obviously, because that's just the Eurovision song. So I would love to perform that one behind the piano again. I'm really looking forward to it.
Nice. Taip, kaip girdėjote, Eurovizijos žiūrovai pamatys atrankoje ir naujausią kūrinį Electric Life. Ir taip pat išgirs be jokios abejonės Eurovizinę dainą, kurią Duncanas specialiai mums sudainuos gyvai Eurovizijos atrankoje. Ne dabar, ne čia nėra pianino, bet Eurovizijos atrankoje. Būtinai ją žiūrėkit, primenu, šį šeštadienį antras pusfinalis, o vasario 18 dieną Eurovizijos atrankos finalas. Right, life is good. You're in Lithuania, doing things. What do you like to do when you're abroad? I mean, like, are you like the kind of person who just goes down the street when you have the time? And do you visit museums? Do you visit nightclubs? Do you check...
I mean, it depends on the place where I am, kind of. Like, sometimes the travel is so tight and so behind each other, and I'm in Belgium that hour, and then in France the next hour, and then, like, Germany, so it can be very, like, busy, so I don't have any time. Then I often just, like, you know, go to the gym, go to the, like, have a relaxing night in my room and then go to sleep, kind of. But if I'm in Paris or like in Italy or like where there's like lots of like nice food and wine, yeah, of course I want to go out and like just like enjoy the city. And also here, I would love to see more because I, like you said, when I traveled here, that's when I also realized like I don't know this region of Europe very well, and it's a fun way to travel everywhere, to do these things, to have like performances, do what you love, and at the same time, you know, go see the city. And I walked through the city yesterday. It's quite an old town. It's really cool actually to see the old buildings and architecture, because Rotterdam, as you know, doesn't have a lot of that.
But it's beautiful. But it's beautiful. I mean, like, I was in Eurovision when we actually didn't allow you to leave a hotel because of the strict rules.
In the bubble.
We kind of left to go shop, like, you know, buy some food or something, but everything
Right, you
closed.
could go to the supermarket.
And at that time, I think everything closed at 6 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah.
So that was
It was
not
a
the best
tricky
time to visit Rotterdam, but
No.
I thought it's an interesting city.
It is,
Right.
like, it's super modern in the center because, you know, of the Second World War. Obviously, it was like, it was gone, and then they rebuilt it in a very modern way, which I think is really cool, because you have Amsterdam, which is super old and like small and like picturesque, and then you have Rotterdam, which is a lot more like skylines, big buildings, and I like both, you know, it's a good like contrast.
Okay. Tai paklausiau Duncano, ką ketina veikti, sakė, šiaip paprastai mėgsta pasivaikščioti, tikisi, kad padarys tai ir Lietuvoje, ypač tokiuose miestuose kaip Paryžius ar Milanas, kur daug visko vyksta, tai jisai tiesiog lenda visur, kur tik tai galima, ką nors įdomaus nuveikti. Lietuvoje dar nesusiplanavo savo dienos, bet turės šiek tiek laisvo laiko. Ir mes dar pakalbėjome apie Rotterdamą, bet čia tik tai mums tarpusavėje turbūt įdomu tai, ką mes čia kalbėjom. Aš pasakojau, kaip Eurovizijoje buvau ir ten Rotterdame mums niekur neleido išeiti, dėl to su to miestu taip ir nesugebėjau pasimėgauti. We have some questions coming in from our audience and we have like 3 more minutes, so let's take some.
Let's do it.
So, okay, these are quite simple. Okay. So, what is your favorite food?
My favorite food is sushi, and I was vegan for a little while, and it was very frustrating because I couldn't eat fish, but now I switched to pescatarian just because I missed the sushi too much. So sushi, definitely. I love the Japanese kitchen.
Paklausiau, nes mes priėmėme ir keletą klausimų iš mūsų žiūrovų, jie atsiuntė mums elektroniniu paštu. Tai vienas dalykas yra, kad vienas klausimas buvo, koks mėgstamiausias Duncano patiekalas, tai sushi. Jis kurį laiką buvo veganas, bet šiuo metu jisai visiškai, jo mėgstamiausia virtuvė yra japonų virtuvė, taip kad sushi jisai turbūt valgo daug. Okay. Do you know anything about basketball? That's a funny one.
Because of Duncan?
Because Lithuania is Lithuania is Velendo basketball.
Oh, because this was a joke when I was young. All the time people would do this.
Oh,
when
really?
they saw me like Duncan.
Dunk the ball. Yeah,
Dunk
okay.
the ball. No, don't know anything about basketball. We grew up with soccer a lot in the Netherlands, so I do know more about soccer. I don't know anything about basketball because it's not really a big thing in the Netherlands at all.
Aš paklausiau, ar jis žino kažką apie krepšinį, nes tai Lietuvos vizitinė kortelė, sakė, ne, augo su futbolu, bet jį nuolat, juokaudavo apie jį, nes Duncan skamba kaip Duncan, kaip įdėti kamuolį į krepšį. Ir dėl to jis ir sako, ar dėl to klausė apie krepšinį. Ne dėl to. Vadinasi, you don't want to attend the basketball game, that's fine.
I would like to, yeah. I would like to see it because I do love sports and I do love to see it. So like next time when I'm here, I'll go to a basketball game.
And let's hope you play like a proper show next time as well.
Yeah,
like a
that
proper
would be
concert.
great. Yeah.
We need to arrange that as well.
Yeah.
Saka, kitą kartą būtų įdomu pasižiūrėti krepšinį, o taip pat gal ir kažkokį tai pilnos trukmės koncertą mūsų surenks, kas būtų labai smagu. Okay. Well, did you come with your partner? There are some people asking this.
No. My partner is in Amsterdam right now working on the Eurovision act.
So you're working here, he's working there.
And we go back and forth, and then like sometimes he joins, sometimes he doesn't, like now, because we both are in music, and also he's super creative and the creative director of the whole act. So yeah, he had to stay there to make sure that all the dots are on the I, as we say in Dutch, like every little detail is set. And it's very exciting to see it all happen. I get updates every time I go to the hotel and my day is done. I get like updates, and then we both go through it, and then it's 3 o'clock in the night, and then I have to sleep, and then I'm tired in the morning, lose my voice, and then like that's how it kind of goes with promo.
Is it simple to live together and work together? Some people are saying
super simple. Yeah, for us it's very natural. I mean, like, of course sometimes you have like different opinions about stuff, but it's very easy, and it's what is nice is that he's a songwriter, like very much of a songwriter, and I'm a songwriter but also an artist at the same time, so that combination of him writing and starting foundations and then me jumping in and saying like, okay, let's switch it to this because this is more me, and this, it's a very good like working situation, and I love working like that because we can just sit at home behind the piano, really cozy, away from the outside world. It's just that bubble that you need to be creative, I think.
Gerai. Mes paklausime, ar Duncanas į Lietuvą šį kartą atvyko su savo mylimuoju, su savo partneriu, su kuriuo rašo muziką. Sakė ne, jo draugas liko Nyderlanduose, kadangi rūpinasi Eurovizinės Nyderlandų dainos ir pasirodymo paruošimu. Yra pagrindinis žmogus, kuris viską ten tvarko, bet jie sakė, nuolat susirašinėja, dirba kartu ir daro labai labai daug dalykų. Aš paklausiau, ar lengva yra ir gyventi kartu, ir kurti muziką, dirbti tame pačiame darbe iš esmės. Jis sakė visiškai paprasta, nes jo širdies draugas yra pirmiausia dainų autorius, o Duncanas tuo pačiu yra ir dainų autorius, ir dainininkas, ir jie vienas kitam labai daug padeda, labai daug pataria, ir tai yra tiesiog labai harmoningas ryšys ir bendravimas. Let's finish with this one, because you need to go to rehearsal for your performance at Eurovision selection. What would you now tell that small town boy who was dreaming about big things, and it's obvious that big things are happening to you, and is there still a small town boy in you? I mean, like, has fame and Eurovision and success and hit singles, has it changed at all, or are you still this small town boy who is kind of amazed and surprised about what's going on?
Kind of, yeah. Every time I go, so of course you get used to situations. It's like, when you go on like promo tours now, it's not as overwhelming, luckily, because that would be too much, but I'm still surprised by things. I still really view the world from that perspective. It is really nice to see these pictures and these videos and get reminded of where it all started, kind of. But I do feel like every time we get to work on something new and something big and exciting, it just that same feeling comes up, and it just feels like the small town boy who can live his dream, which is literally what I'm singing about also in the song. So it's a crazy feeling of feeling like a rock star from time to time, and then coming home and being like, whoa, did that just happen? That's amazing. It's crazy. So I really like that way of living. It keeps me just chill and grounded, and I feel like I'm never really don't know where I am, don't know what is happening. I feel very grounded in that way, and maybe that's my Dutch roots that just come in, our sober, roots, but I love living like that. So yeah, definitely. I watch everything from that small town boy in the big arcade perspective.
Kaip žinote, Eurovizinėje dainoje Arcade yra albumas, taip pat Duncano vadinasi Small Town Boy, vaikinas iš mažo miesto, ir visas tas įvaizdis yra toks, kad tai yra iš esmės kuklus žmogus, kuriam gyvenime pasisekė ir vyksta nuostabus dalykai, tačiau jisai tiesiog žiūri taip to vaikino iš mažo miesto žvilgsniu. Aš paklausiau, ar vis dar taip yra. Duncanas sakė taip, visiškai taip, jam ir dabar žiūrėti į tas nuotraukas, kurias jūs matote šitos transliacijos metu iš jo triumfo Eurovizijos dainų konkurse. Jam iš tiesų yra vis dar labai labai sudėtinga suvokti, kas dedasi su jo gyvenimu, tačiau jis nėra pasipūtęs, jisai neįsikraustė iš proto, jisai tiesiog džiaugiasi kiekvieną akimirką viskuo, kas dedasi jo muzikiniai karjeroj, ir sako, labai geras gyvenimo būdas. Tu esi dideliai scenai, grįžti namo ir vėl esi tas vaikinas iš mažo miesto, kuris užsiema kasdieniais dalykais. Sako, galbūt tai yra ir olandiškas būdas, tiesiog žmonės ten yra tokie, jie blaiviai žiūri į viską, kas vyksta aplinkui, ir Duncanas to neprarado. Thanks a million, man.
Thank you too.
This
Thanks
was
for having me.
enjoyable.
Yeah, you got through it.
I got through it. You got through it. But the main thing, the most important thing, that people are going to see you on telly this Saturday here in Lithuania.
Yeah.
They missed you a lot. You haven't performed gigs here, so at least this way they'll be able to just, say hi to you and listen to the songs. And good luck evaluating the Lithuanian songs.
Yes.
Choose the best one.
Yes. Well, luckily we're in the same room. If I'm like, do you have any idea? I can also go the complete other way, of course, where I'm like, okay, I'm going to pick the baddest one. So just because then we'll win the Netherlands.
Yeah.
But I won't do
you
that.
will not do that.
No, of course not. We'll pick the best one, of course. That's part of the job.
You're a too nice person. You will not play bad tricks on us.
I can't, no.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will feel too guilty.
Good. Tai žinokit, kad primenu dar sykį, Duncanas Laurence'as atvyko į Lietuvą, filmuojasi Eurovizijos atrankoje antrajame pusfinalyje, kurį pamatysite jau šį šeštadienį per LRT televiziją. Pamatysit, kaip jis vertina Lietuvos atlikėjus, kokios dainos jiems labiausiai patinka. Išgirsit jį dainuojantį, pažiūrėsim, gal ir finale mes parodysim jo pasirodymą, kuris įvyks vasario 18 dieną. Pirmiausia, sulaukim šito vakaro, šito filmavimo, sekite LRT, sužinosit visas naujienas apie Duncano nuotykius Lietuvoje. Thanks.
Thank you.
This was good.
Thank you so much.
Baigiam šitą pokalbį likite su LRT.lt. Šiandien 13 val. Jeigu aš sugebėsiu kalbėti, pas mus pokalbis su Juste Kraujelyte, nacionalinės atrankos finalo dalyvė. Ir po to mes planuosim dar daugiau pokalbių su atrankos finalininkais. Taip kad sekite LRT.lt programą ir dalyvaukite šitose pokalbiuose. Iki.